Cryptocurrency correction warnings are everywhere on YouTube right now. Let's update our spreadsheet and get an objective view with today's episode of the Bull Market Watch. Before we get into today's episode, let's pause here and take a look at the disclaimer, read through to know that this isn't trading advice, just market observation. The purpose of this show is to go through all of the cryptocurrencies on Poloniex, simply because it's a good cross-section of the cryptocurrency world, but there's only 55 markets to do. And we're grading them all against a trend reversal trading plan. You can download a copy of that trading plan by going to digitalcurrencytraders.com, scroll down and put your name and address in to download the free chapter. If you are an active trader, you may also be interested in our crypto signals and alerts package, or if you are just learning, go and check out the book special and get the whole course for a simple price. What we do is we go through each of the markets now and we're going to color code them against our trading plan. If they're coming up to almost a buy signal, we color them yellow. Once they've passed our simple buy signal, we color them green. Once they pass our sell out signal, we give them a blue color that it's an exit. Reds and oranges are those markets that are going down and they don't match our trading plan, but they're important to monitor because they may indicate if cryptos are going for that big correction. We should see it first in our charts here. Our bull ratio shows that the reds and oranges added together have been losing power, but the bull ratio hasn't been gaining that much strength yet. Instead, most of the markets have moved from bearish up to neutral in our status, and we're watching now for them to go from neutral either back to bearish or over to the bullish view. Let's start off with Ardor, and I'll do a more detailed review of this chart because we're looking for three different categories to line up. First of all, we're looking for a market that is at the bottom of a downtrend and that we see that the downtrend line has been broken. We draw a downtrend line on any three downtrending points you can draw a trend line on. The more points, the better. So this has broken the downtrend line. That's one of our requirements. Second requirement is that it creates a 1, 2, 3 formation in some variation. That is, it hits the lowest price of the downtrend, it comes up and then goes down and tries to go lower than the lowest price but fails, and those are what we would call the number 3 points. So this is the number 1, this would be our number 2, it could be our number 2, and these could be our number 3. Now they're not proven to be the number 3 and the number 2 until prices actually come up and break above there. That confirms that this indeed was the number 3, it was the lowest price, it didn't go down and continue on the downtrend. So our orange and our red markets are those that are pressing so firmly against this bottom that they're nearly failing down to new lows. Or the red markets are the ones that have failed down to new lows. So once our market has completed all three requirements, the break of the downtrend line, the 1, 2, 3 formation confirmed and broken out, and the exponential moving averages have crossed over, that gives us our trading signal. And so from that review, then I'll quickly go through each of these and I'll update the status. We can see that this could be a near fail. If these were red candles pushing down, I would mark it as a near fail, but I'm going to leave it as neutral. It was a near fail yesterday, we can see in the chart here, and now I've updated it to gray, which is neutral. Adam was an alert and it's passed above the 1, 2, 3 formation. It's pulled back, but it's still within our technical levels for buying into this trade and holding on to it. And so I'll leave this one marked as a hold. And that's one of the first changes from gray to yellow to green that we've seen. The more of those that we see overall, then we know overall the cryptos are turning around and going in the up direction. We can always see Bitcoin in the background here when we're looking at these prices. The light blue color in the background is always the price of Bitcoin. Basic attention token is still at a near fail status. BCHABC is working its way back up into an alert status because it will return to be testing this larger uptrending formation, this trend continuation formation. And these are ranges where this could be a buy signal, especially if Bitcoin is going to continue showing strength. I believe this one will show strength as well. And so I'll leave it as neutral for now, but it may be an alert tomorrow. BCN went from a fail to a near fail, and it could jump up into I'm going to leave it as neutral for today. This is marked as neutral, but it really could be an alert. This is probably not going to create a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation over time. It may just take right off from here. So we'll watch this one. I've marked it as neutral. If it continues up tomorrow, I'll call it an alert. If it's starting to break higher, we'll wait and see what goes on. Bancorn Network token on the 12-hour view is making a 1, 2, 3 formation. It has broken the downtrend line, so it's setting itself up. It's not quite an alert yet. Bitcoin, of course, is still a hold because it's so far up there. And it's significant that Bitcoin is showing strength out of this little wee formation. If we zoom out to the 3-month view, we can see that this is not yet giving us an exit signal. We're looking for some specific things. First of all, I'm going to zoom into the 4-hour time frame, and we're looking for the exponential moving average crossover of the 4-hour as our first stage of exit. This gives us enough variability that we stay in while the markets are testing these tops, and we're going to get out after the top is confirmed on the other side. We're not trying to pick the top on this. So right now it still remains as a green, and we're watching for this to turn into a cold fish now on this time frame, breaking these top formations as the exponential moving average crosses over. Our next market to go on to is BitShares. It's very similar, 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up, but it's not ready yet. So we can mark this as neutral. Clam Coin, I'm going to mark it as a fail, and we're just going to look at it just briefly because it is an active market that has been absolutely killed. Civic Coin is making a potential for a bottom formation here as well, still in the neutral territory. So we're not finding the big dump in the coins yet. We'll see it as near fails and fails in all of these neutral coins when we do. They'll all start to go, and if we're watching daily, we'll see it coming. Dash is actually looking pretty good. It's neutral here. A little higher, I'll mark it as an alert. Not a trading signal, just that it's maybe going up. Decreed is picked itself up off of the fail category, and it's still neutral even after this pullback. It's held itself there. Digibyte is also still an alert and getting close to breaking higher. That's pretty good. Doge was an alert, and it remains an alert even though we've got this bit of a red candle here. There's some big volume of buying coming into that. So it is an alert. It's making a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation there. EOS we've had as a hold for a few days, and this one's turning out really well. We'll see what turns up on this one over the next few days as they're announcing something spectacular apparently tomorrow. Ethereum Classic is an alert, and tomorrow that could be at a hold. This one's been outperforming Ethereum in terms of making this recent bottom formation. Ethereum. It's just not as nice as Ethereum Classic in that it's really volatile. It could be fantastic and going up way higher, yet it's not as smooth of an entry here. So I'm going to leave it as neutral. I'm going to make it come back up and be pressing against these levels to go into an alert for us right now. Even though on the 12-hour time frame the exponential moving average has crossed over, let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Then we've been kicked out with a cold fish right in there, and we're waiting for a re-entry on that. Factum, what's going on with Factum? If Bitcoin is coming down, Factum will probably go up. So it's hesitating here. It's broken the downtrend line. It hasn't made a great 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and the exponential moving averages haven't crossed over. So I'm going to say it's neutral instead of a near fail now, just because it's pulled itself up and held steady there. Foam now goes from alert to a hold. And this is great to see this. It's a sort of a hidden 1, 2, 3 bottom formation inside this. If you were to take the averages, it looks a lot better. But it probably should still just be an alert because the exponential moving averages haven't crossed over. I'm being a little bit early on that. So let me go back and put that back to alert status. Game. Okay, so you've pulled yourself up off of fail into near fail. And if it holds there for a while, then we'll bump it up again. Gas is looking like a fantastic chart. We have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We have the break of the downtrend line, and the moving averages on the 12-hour time frame are really close to breaking over. So this one remains an alert, but that's pretty exciting. Golem Network token, you can see we had a question asking, where do I see the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in this? And the 1, 2, 3 is there's many variations of it, but it's just a basic retest of a recent low. However the formation turns out is smudgy, then we can get some perfect looking 1, 2, 3s, or we can get something that goes at number 1 and then we're hitting a channel. And the 1, 2, 3s are also building a channel formation, so a break above this is very bullish. It really is setting up fantastic. So it remains an alert, and we've got an even more clear place to call it a hold if it does go above there. Let's go on to Grin Coin. This has got very little history, but it does have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up. It had a tiny 1, 2, 3 shaping up from the 13th to the 19th, but it turned back to retrace and giving us another chance to rethink it and get back in on this longer time frame. So it is not an alert right yet, but I like that chart pattern. KNC. It is also building a 1, 2, 3, but not ready yet. So it is also neutral. Library credits really took a hit. And I'll say it's near fail now. Just because it's come up a tick off that bottom that it really crashed down to. Something's not good there. Loom. Okay, this is consolidating much better. I like the volume here, the double lows. Pretty good. These could be pre-pump patterns. They could be exhaustion wicks, like we saw up here. Exhaustion wicks before the downtrend. Exhaustion wicks before the downtrend. And we'll see. I'm going to mark it as an alert, but as we're going through all these from day to day, we should see that trend, and all of us here should be aware of it. I'm going to leave this as a near fail. And Lisk was a neutral. It is neutral, but it is not looking good, actually. Litecoin we had as a hold because it came out of this 1, 2, 3 bottom, and it still remains a hold. MadeSafe coin we had as a hold because it came out of this bottom. It's really pulled back. I guess I'm going to put it as neutral because this isn't a trade if you're like, hold it or not. It's just a bullish bearishness index. Mana coin is creating a really nice potential bottom, and again we've got these either pre-pump wicks or exhaustion wicks. We'll soon be finding out. I'm going to mark this as neutral. If it goes down any lower than this and goes down below the number 3 point, that will turn into a near fail. If we're testing for a new number 3 point, that qualifies to be upgraded to a near fail when it's on the way down. And here we have 1, 2, 3 more of those exhaustion wicks or pre-pump wicks going on. The downtrend isn't as clearly broken on this. You could fudge it and say, yeah, okay, it's kind of broken, but it's easy to say that the downtrend line hasn't been broken yet in Navcoin. And we'll see if this is a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation or not. I'll leave it as neutral. NMR, I'll say this is neutral. It's a little bit higher lows here, which is good. I'll leave it as neutral now, but it'll turn into an alert if it's breaking above that 1, 2, 3 here. This 1, 2, 3 pattern here. If it's breaking above these levels, it turns into an alert and a hold. NXT has gone down and near fail level now. It's bumped up from fail. OMG. 1, 2, 3. It was testing those levels and pulled back a little bit. So I'm going to leave it as neutral, but it could be an alert tomorrow. Omni. Fail and then pulled up. I'll leave it as a fail, but it could be marked as near fail. Pascal coin. I upgraded this to a near fail, and I'll leave it as a near fail, but it's not looking good. Poly was a near fail. Yeah, it's still hanging out here. It could burst right off from here, but I'm going to leave it as a near fail. The more time it sits here, 4 times off this low, and this change of volume pattern going on is really good. If you know this coin, it's time to be watching it for sure. Let's go into Quantum. Quantum is making the 1, 2, 3, and it's getting ready. I'm going to make that an alert. Rep is not doing as well last time, and sure enough, it's still in a fail. I was not expecting. I thought there would be better stuff going on from Rep actually. Saya coin is down at these lows. 1 tick lower, it would be a near fail. I'm going to leave it as neutral. That might be being generous by looking at it there. SNT was an alert the last couple days, and then it's pulled back. Maybe it could just blast right off, but I'm going to put it back to neutral. And tomorrow we'll maybe put it right back to alert. This could be an alert pattern here as well. I'm going to leave it as neutral until we get a bit more strength out of it. Storage. 1, 2, 3, getting right close to it. Still neutral. STR still is neutral. It's got to start showing some strength here for it to change status. Stratus could change status. 1, 2, 3 formation shaping up. It's still neutral. It's got to give it more strength. Viacoin actually went to a fail status, and I wasn't expecting that, but it's more failing now. So I can't wait to see what the overall change is. VTC is right on near fail as it was for a while. XEM, many of us are favorable to this one. It's looking better. Still neutral though overall. XMR is creating a triangle formation. I'm going to leave it as neutral, but it could go either way. That's a pretty interesting chart when we look at the long term. XPM stays as a fail, and what a market this is. Straight line. So when it does make a bottom formation, it will be easy to spot. Ripple is making a 1, 2, 3 and shaping up with some really nice trading volume here. So even though it's marked as neutral, that's a pretty interesting chart pattern there. ZEC has broken out of our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, so it's gone from an alert to a hold status, and I'm surprised by that. We had one of the girls in our trading chat, Nancy, nailed this right at the very bottom as this was coming down and changing direction. She was saying in our chat, "Is this the time to buy?" And I said, well, it hasn't broken out of the 1, 2, 3 formation yet, but so she would have been way ahead of my trading signal now turning on here. Love it though to see those things unfolding. Here's another one, 1, 2, 3 shaping up, but it is still neutral. It's not an alert yet. Then we're going to finish up the episode here by updating the spreadsheet and getting this data firsthand. So I'm going to copy and paste this row of formulas into place, and it'll update our charts here. Well, neutral increased, bearish went down, and bullish didn't really change. So the bearishness index went down, bullishness held the same, and where the bearishness lost ground was to the neutral coins. So that's good that things are pulling up more into a neutral range, and we'll repeat this study over and over again so that we continue to keep abreast of the most current changes in these markets. In closing, I want to review the Bitcoin dominance chart over the long term. This is the weekly view, and the altcoin market cap versus dominance in the weekly view. Just as a quick review, we can see March of 2017 till July 2017, December 2017 till January 2018. Each of these times were really big altcoin bull runs. When we go back to the Bitcoin dominance, we can see that this is when Bitcoin lost dominance and lost dominance again from the altcoins. Now we're at this significant support and resistance level if we were looking at this as a price chart, and we're looking at a very clear top formation here as well. So I want to zoom in on the time frames of these and make some inferences as what we might expect to be happening for our prices of Bitcoin and altcoins. From April 1st until May 13th, all of Bitcoin dominance was on a tear, and from that very same time frame, when we look at the 6-month view here, we can see that from April the 1st until May the 13th, we can see altcoins were on a major downtrend, a capitulation low and a bounce. Then a bull flag came into the overall altcoin prices. So should this continue going higher, then we know that Bitcoin is losing dominance and altcoins are picking up. And what we're watching for now is Bitcoin dominance going to continue on its move up? We've had a couple ascending wedge triangles where Bitcoin dominance came back and retested some lows before charging. And so what will happen if this does start to go, that means Bitcoin prices are going to new highs from where we are right now, and they're going to break above $10,000 if this is happening. And the altcoins at the same time, we'll have to see, are they going to continue going up with Bitcoin, or are they going to get crushed and go down against Bitcoin? One of my theories is that the altcoins, because of this altcoin market cap over time, over the last 5 years, we're looking at the weekly view, the volume is insane compared to anything else we've seen in history. And so I'm anticipating that the altcoins are going to go up even if Bitcoin starts to go up. Now, the thing is to be proven correct or incorrect. We're watching the charts to see is Bitcoin versus US dollar, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Stellar versus US dollar. Watching those and comparing them against the Bitcoin versus US dollar, Litecoin versus Bitcoin, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, Stellar versus Bitcoin. And the key thing is the relationship between Bitcoin making these top formations and may having the potential to pull back or to hold at these top formation levels and continuing on its parabolic move upward. Only time will tell as we uncover from step to step what is going on with our bull and bear market watch. So this is our objective view of the bullish bearish ratio, and we'll know in advance if the bull is coming and if we should go full into cryptos. Right now, there's a lot of getting ready for it, but not a lot of full-on hold signals. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to get the full trading plan, be sure to go over to digitalcurrencytraders.com, sign up for the free chapter, put your name and email address, and you'll get instant access to that. If you're interested in more, be sure to check out the 7-day trial of our signals package. There's nothing like it out there. Thanks again for tuning in. Good luck in all of your cryptocurrency trading.